Hey guys, Rob, aka Devil Dog here from Explominate, and it's been a really long time. In fact, I kind of walked away from Explominate for a minute, and I realized that was a horrible idea, and I'm back here, and I'm really interested in doing more Let's Plays and podcasts and stuff, but today I'm focusing on Stars and Shadow, and that's because in just a couple weeks, maybe even less than a week, I don't even know what day it is, but in some time very close, they're going to release to early access on Steam. So I wanted to kind of show you what it's all about and just dive in for 20 minutes, give you an update on how it looks, show combat, show diplomacy, all that good stuff. So you'll notice in the early access build that you can't play the Fiddy or the Ashtar Imperials. From what I understand, it's because neither one of their like true gameplay mechanics are implemented yet. So they wanted to, not do that. Not put out a game where they had some races that weren't really fully implemented yet, so they're not going to be in just yet. But yeah, the other 5 are here. So the Ashtar Colonials, the Gremax, the Orthans, and they each have their own little strengths and weaknesses. The Colonials are very good at generating industry, where the Gremax can do. Oh wait, that remains a to-do item too. But they also they have like stealth mechanics and Viper launchers and all this other stuff, and so each of them are pretty unique in their playstyle and the way that they're going to play the game, which is what playstyle is. And you can also take a look to see how their colonists interact, like how they manufacture or produce goods, or what their strengths and weaknesses are too. So like here, the Urals they have a higher production than most, where like the Orthans, they're pretty well rounded. The Gremax, they're also pretty well rounded, and the Colonials, look at that, they can do the production as well. Humanity, it's kind of like hard mode in this game, and they don't actually start with a home world, which is pretty cool, and you kind of have to go off and you find it and stuff like that. So yeah, see, it says not recommended for first time players. So we're gonna go and do the Ashtar Colonials because they're kind of like, I don't know, I feel like the company is called Ashtar Games, so I feel like Ashtar Colonials is probably like the first species that everyone should try. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. But they're like maybe easy mode, but we'll take a look at it and we'll see what it's all about. And like I said, I'll show you about 20 minutes gameplay. So obviously there's some stuff that needs to be done here still. You can add or remove all of the races still. I wonder what happens when you add more. Okay, so they start to double up on some of the races. But so now I've got all of them in there. That means that we'll see each other pretty quickly. We'll make it a small map. Go back. Add them. There you go. Yeah, so that way we can meet each other quickly. I can show you diplomacy, show you combat, and just kind of give you a general, here is what the game is right now spiel. Holla. Alright, cool. So we've started off. We have our Rastaban as our starting system. One of the first things you should do is use your transport to start trading, and that'll help create a trade pool, and it also helps generate some money there too. So yeah, just a insider tip, even though I have no idea how to play this game whatsoever. So we can take a look to see how our first initial system looks. There's nothing really good to use that colony ship on, so we'll send both the scout and the colony ship out. Let's go here. You could send them separately to cover more space quickly, but the problem is you run into pirates, and I'm not sure if the colony ship by itself can auto retreat, and if it can, then you should be spreading them apart. But I don't really know this game all that well because I haven't spent too much time with it, considering I was mostly waiting for the diplomacy stuff to be implemented. But now I'm just sort of I'm just ready for it to be done and finished with before I really dive into it, because it's one of those things where you're really excited about it, but you want to wait until you get the full experience. So that's why I'm only going to do like 20 minutes here to show you what the game is all about. So anyways, here the screen for city management is. As you can see in the upper right hand corner, you only have a particular number of improvement slots, which I really like. Kind of gives you, it forces you to make hard choices, which I can really appreciate. And we start off with one mine, one factory, one farm. Each of these obviously produce something that you need. The farm, as you might expect, gives you food. The factory, as you also might expect, gives you production. The mine, however, is something that's relatively new, and I'm not sure if my last little quick glimpse of gameplay featured it, but the mine produces metal, which is now required to build ships. It's like a limiting strategic resource that I also appreciate. And then we have labs that obviously are good for research. So, and then eventually you get markets, and I think one other thing I don't remember. But yeah, so you use these slots. Each of these buildings that you use, they take up a slot, and then you can never build past those slots. There are research, I think you get research later that adds a slot or two, but nothing significant. So yeah, you definitely want to be mindful of what you build. So in this case, let's build another factory so we can build things faster with our production. And I really wish I could right click to get out of the screen, just like every other game in existence. No, actually probably not every other game, but there are a lot of 4X games that use right click as like an exit menu. I wish I could do that. So if you guys are listening, please add right click to exit screens. So alright, research. It's a list. It should be a tree. It hopefully will be a tree one day. The problem with the list is that it's sort of like this rabbit hole where you click on each of these and you click on the hyperlinks and you can go down this like rabbit hole all day, and eventually you just get lost. I have no idea where I am right now. I'm at shipyards, sure, but how did I get here? And that would be helpful. I know that it says prerequisites and you can kind of start to work your way back, but a visualization of that tree, of that, rabbit hole per se, would be really helpful, especially for numbnuts like me. So anyways, let's go and do xenology, because whatever. I don't even know what xenology is. It allows us to build shipboard laboratory facilities. No, thank you. Let's do something like guidance systems then. Create missiles. There we go. Yeah. Set research, and we're off. There we go. All right, cool. So we found a derelict craft. This is something that's going to be just one of many events from what I understand. They're going to have a bunch of events, and so each time you play through, it's like maybe not really a quest system, but it's, like each time you get to a particular planet system, or even just various times of the game, events pop up and you make decisions, which I really like. It's very cool. In this case, the derelict craft, I can either scrap it and gain a lot of money, or I can study it and gain a lot of research. I'm going to gain a lot of research because I like research. I can't buy research. And this is actually a pretty good planet here, so we're going to colonize it. It's a good start. Alright, so it's like a Terran planet of sorts. It's a garden planet, I should say. And we'll start with food, because though your food is spread empire-wide, as soon as you start to go negative food, you starve, and when your people starve, you lose population really quickly in this game. So it's a really good idea to keep up with food. Yeah, and then we can queue up other stuff if we'd like. Use these arrows here to queue up other stuff. So we'll get farm going, and then we'll get a factory going to get some production going. Going. I'm gonna say going a couple more times. No, I'm not. All right, so let's keep going. Oh, I did it. All right, so yeah, and this is another thing that I feel frustrated by, because I don't really know where to go with any of this. If I had like a nice little, visualization of how it all sort of plays out, through a tech tree, I'd kind of know what my goals would be. But right now, especially somebody who hasn't played this much and doesn't know what each of these leads to, and even if I did, I'd probably have to start memorizing it, because it is difficult to navigate through. So yeah, if you guys are listening, that's my main complaint for this game right now, is that this is not a very easy way to research or organize your research. And I know it's very similar to like Master of Orion and Master of Orion 2, where you just chose from a list, but it's 2016, so please consider it, please. Let's get some more research. Let's do it. We did it. What's here? Nothing really. And there is somebody. I think that's the Ural. Yeah, we'll go meet them and maybe start a fight with them. We'll show you diplomacy, and then we'll show you fights. And before we do that, maybe we should get some weapons going. So let's do anti-missiles. Yeah. And man, I'm finding a lot of derelict crafts. I don't normally find this many. I've played this game a few times. I don't normally find this many. Let's scrap it this time. That way we get some money. And that's a decent planet. It's 8 population capabilities, or like limiting, whatever the word is I'm looking for. It has the possibility, the capabilities of housing 8 population units, which I think each one of them is 1 million. Alright, so let's go see if we can catch up with the Ural and talk to them. That way you can start to see the new influence at work. Oh, there's also, I think those are pirates. Okay, so now we've got Rastavan 2. It has completed its queue, so it now has an extra factory. And maybe we should add some research to that, and we'll also do more metal, and that way we can start building some ships after this. Oh, so there's pirates there. That must be why everybody's bouncing off that planet, or that system. So we'll auto retreat and send our guys back in hopes that we'll find the Ural at another planet. Alright, so they've created, we've got the queue set up for the mine. And we'll bring the scout out here to see if we can meet up with somebody. And alright, well, then I guess we're gonna build. Oh, we could colonize Rastaban 2. Now, what is Rastaban 2? What kind of planet? I can't really see it from this screen, so I have to come out, which kind of sucks. It's a 4 colony, or it's a 4, whatever the word is. It's got 4. So, and it's probably like some sort of arid planet. Yeah, there it is. Arid. So we can go ahead and colonize it. It'll help us continue to accumulate different production in all the fields here. So we'll do that. Then we'll set up a transport for some more trading, and then we'll build some cruisers. Start blowing stuff up. All right, let's do it. And then we've got the factory queued up after we had a farm. So we'll do another factory and then some mines. That way, as we start to build these ships, we're going to require more and more metal. And the mines, obviously, like I said, give us metal. Planetary scans show the remnants of a long abandoned settlement on the surface of Utan 2. Alright, so we should probably send a colony ship there. So let's take out 2 of these cruisers and the transport for that matter, and we'll queue up a colony ship after we get this one done, and then we can do the transport. So the problem is you can't like mix and match. You can't like drag. That's another thing I'd like to see. And if we weren't already a couple turns into colonizing this, I would say we just scrap that for the colony ship, but we'll just keep going with that. Don't want to waste the production. So as you can see here too, the planetary report, it shows how far into our how far we're progressing in whatever it is that we're doing next. So like you can actually look down below it. It says colonize Rastavan 3, and this graph will sort of show me as I get closer to completing it. And then each of these bars here, it's almost like experience bars. You got them here, you got them here. You got the one blue here, that's showing you how close you are to getting more population, etc., etc. So then we've colonized Rastavan 3. Let's go ahead and see what auto does. Oh, we're just gonna research regardless of the fact. Oh, this is for Rostbahn 2. I guess research would be a good thing to do after a transport. So, let's see what it'll do for Rostbahn 3. Why doesn't it bring up Rostbahn 3? Oh, it did. Okay. So let's see what it says for Rostbahn 3. That's a good start. Factory would be a smart thing to start with. So I'm digging the auto build, auto queue. And let's see if we can push out to there. Nope. How about there? Nope. Oh yes, there we go. Maybe we can meet somebody down there. So there's pirates. There's somebody. Guess we could probably try to... Ooh, I wish we could divert, but we can't. That might mean we meet somebody. Contact established. With who? The humans. Alright, so here is your diplomacy screen. It is... it's awesome. I like it a lot. It's pretty simple, but it has great art. It conveys the whole, like, I'm meeting somebody through a screen as their ambassador, blah blah, kind of feel pretty well. It's pretty basic, so like as long as I have the influence, I can actually get these things from these people. There's no real like convincing other than just having the influence that I need. So right now I don't have the influence required to complete a cooperative research agreement, so I can't do it, or the trade charter, but I did have enough to establish an embassy. So yeah, so it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty basic, but it's pretty good. So I really like it. And I've only played as a couple of the races, and each of them obviously have their own little command bridge and all that stuff. So, and representative. So I really dig the character in this game, and I think the art style just works so well for it. So, alright, so the humans are off to a pretty good start. They've got a couple planets. They managed to, establish a homeworld pretty quickly, which is great for them. But we're going to try to kill them, just so I can show you guys what it's like to kill them. What kind of... Okay, that's just a scout. Alright, so... Oh, no, I wanted a transport. Okay, oops. Alright, so let's do light cruiser. And then after the light cruiser, the transport. So we can get the light cruiser going, so I can show you combat. And then, I don't want to talk about, or even play this game too... Oh, wait, they're already declaring war on me. Okay. Alright, so combat's going to be coming much sooner than I expected. But yeah, I didn't really want to play it too long. I just sort of want to show you how it's come along. There's still some things that... Oh, wow, okay, so I'm on a food shortage. That's not good. I didn't even realize that I was close to that. Because maybe, I think what it is that they're blockading me? Yes, okay, that's what it is. And they're producing 2 food extra. So that's where it all came from. Alright, well, we gotta figure out who it is that needs the food, and it's this guy. And of course, it doesn't really matter, because honestly, I'm only gonna play this game for another 10 minutes before I just let you guys go about your day. But again, like I said, I just want to show you the gameplay mechanics going into early access. Alright, so like I said before, food shortage is pretty crippling. So what will happen is this planet's going to be dying pretty quickly. So as it says right there, it's starving, and they'll start dying off, as you'll see. Yeah, I know. I know they're going to starve. So the starving people actually die, and this planet will be gone soon if I don't fix the problem. Looks like they moved away from their blockade, so I'll get food to that particular planet. But yeah, it can be a real issue. So again, you have to balance all of the various resources, and you have to build in your improvement slots well enough so that you don't have issues like that. I've been attacked at Hadar. Alright, I'm going to fight it just because I want to show you, but you're going to witness my destruction very quickly. You can zoom in, which is really cool. You can zoom in super fast, super close. go far out. This is the kind of strategic zoom I would really like, or this is tactical zoom, but I'd love to see a strategic zoom like that. But let's get this guy out of here. Retreat. Confirm. If I don't blow up before they get me out of there. Zoom. Alright, so yeah, so I know that some of you have seen the previous videos I've done where I showed combat, but yes, combat is turn-based, and it has everything to do with how you've built your ships, which you can do through the ship design menu. You can take each of these ships and update them through your available weapons and stuff, and just adding those to our different various hard points. So you can just throw it here, there, stuff like that. So yeah, again, great strategic decisions need to be made, and it's very reminiscent of Master of Orion 2, but just sort of updated in a lot of ways, which I really like. So yeah, we'll play through a couple more turns. I just want to show you what possibly actual combat looks like. So we've got the transport going, and now we have quite the pool, which is great, and we've got a light cruiser. So we can send this light cruiser to attack these two light cruisers, because that's suicide, and I love suicide. We'll just choose one of them. I don't really care, because all I want to do is show you. We will perform research. Okay, let's go and do something with that then. Rastaban 2 is my main planet, so let's get a couple destroyers going. There you go. Alright, so combat. Let's make it happen. Oh, I've met the Ural. So let's talk to the Ural real quick. Right, those are the Ural, right? I think. Yeah? Yeah. Yes, that is them. Alright, so like I said, each of the various alien factions, they have their own ambassador. All of them very well drawn. And yeah, and again, it's an elegant system that's pretty simple, but it works well, and I could see, you know, maybe additional things being added, but I don't really know what else would need to be added, because I really like the simplicity of it as it is now. So yeah, so disconnect, get out of there. Yeah, that's cool. Say stuff. Let's see what I can do here. Can I contact them and say no more war? I could if I had 100 influence. I don't know how to gain influence. We receive 1 influence each turn from our embassies, so I wonder if there's other ways to increase that. But alright, so let's defend and make some stuff happen. Fire at will. Oh no, I'm about to blow up. There we go. I blew up. Alright, so that's combat. Pretty simplistic right now because I am super early in the game, but it does get rather complicated and pretty awesome. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things here that I think people are going to really like. The systems that are in place are working pretty well. The various updates since the time I've shown it last are all working out really well and really add to the game. Diplomacy is really going to kick some butt. The event system that's coming is going to kick some butt. The strategic zoom that I know I really particularly want is coming. I'm hoping for Tech Tree because I think that's going to help a lot with research planning, and you know, it's coming along. It's really coming along, and I think early access for a couple months is really going to help this game. But I really don't see it, you know, being anything other than a very solid game when it releases later this year. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you get an idea of what the game is going to feature and what it's going to be like when it comes out, early access on September 15th. And maybe later I'll actually play it and start to, develop decent strategies and do a let's play or something. But until then, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. We'll see you guys next time.